All right, well, how y'all doing? I know it's been a while since I have put one of these videos up, but I have been busy with school and some other things that have been going on, and I also dropped my phone, and I have not been able to go get it fixed yet. So now that it's fixed, we are here with phone, and we're gonna start hitting up videos. Try to hit them every week now. Give you guys some good. I might have a few of my closer friends on here, interviews, kind of letting them share a few thoughts. You know, guys that have helped me, spiritual mentors that have helped me, like my youth pastor, and I get a word from my pastor. I've talked to him a little bit about this, but yeah, you know, shout out to the Refundamental Joe. He commented on one of my videos, my wrestling, and yes, I do wrestle for a Baptist school, which is difficult at times because we don't get, people think we're kind of lame and not good, and then, you know, we try to be a good testimony, you know, good sportsmanship, not to get mad at the ref, which has happened a couple times, but apologize after, things like that. But yeah, my season is over now, so we're gonna head into this. So today's thought is the word devoted. Now, when I think of devoted, I don't know what you think about devoted. When I think of devoted, I think of all in. So, like with my wrestling, I was devoted to getting those matches in. I was all in to practice, to weightlifting, whatever you have to be all into to win, and that was devoted. For you, you know, devoted things to your job, you know, school, getting all A's, devoted to some sport, like I said, a sport, you know, devoted to church, devoted to missions, devoted to Lord. But today's word, so we're in Psalms 119, chapter 37, we're in Psalms 119, verses 38 to 40. And the verse starting 38 says, "Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear." And that is our key verse. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then verse 39, "Turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness." Now, those are two different fears. The devoted to thy fear is the fear, you know, fear of God. Our healthy, you know, I always thought of the fear of the Lord as a healthy respect of his sovereignty and, you know, the salvation, his goodness, his greatness, his awesomeness. That's that fear. Now, the fear of the reproach, which I fear, that is fear like I'm scared of something. So two different fears. You know, I've had people ask me, on my bus route, you know, people are like, "Hey, what's this word mean? What's this word mean? You know, am I supposed to be scared of God?" I was like, no, the Bible is our best interpretation from a Greek, you know, from the Greek that they wrote it in Greek. And it was like, well, we didn't translate it, we transliterated, which means we literally took what they said and put an English word in front of it. So like with the word love, there's a couple different meanings for the word love. You got agape love, phileo love, and then like I actually, like what we think of love. There's three different meanings there. And so what we have to do when we read the Bible, like I read mine with a concordance, and you have to look up the words, see what they mean, where they mean, and it helps us understand the Lord's word. Well, here in this thing in verse 38, as I said, it says, "Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear." And, you know, so we're sitting here devoted, you know, as I said, when you devoted to your job, your school, your sports team, you know, some crazy fans out there devoted to somebody who's never going to talk to him. Like, say, I have a friend who he likes LeBron James. Now, he has realized he's never going to meet LeBron James, and he's never going to get, you know, personal call out and an invitation from LeBron James. So he's not devoted. But there's people out there that are devoted to people that's never going to take interest in them. But, you know, the Lord has taken interest in us. And what the psalmist says here, devoted to his fear. You know, some examples of people who were devoted, you know, to Jesus and to the things of God. You know, Jesus himself, Jesus Christ, who was devoted to God. In Luke 2:49, it says, how is it that ye sought me?" And this is when he was talking to his parents. You know, they lost him in Galilee and after the Feast of the Supper. And so he goes, "How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business?" Devoted. When I read that verse, I see devoted. In John 6:38, "For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me." Again, Jesus Christ, devoted to getting out the gospel and to preach the gospel and to get people saved so they can go to heaven when they die. Other references where Jesus is devoted to getting something done, you know, John 4:34, John 17:4, you know, those verses, devoted. David was devoted. He was called a man after God's own heart. And of course, you know, he messed up. We're all human. He's a perfect example of what a human is. But he was after God. He spent his time after God. He was devoted to God. Paul, he was called a servant of Jesus Christ. A lot of us are servants, but, you know, there's not many of us who the Lord calls, you know, a man after mine own heart, or a servant of my son. And that's what these two men were, and they were perfect examples. So I'm going to reiterate that. So what are you devoted to? School, family, work, sports, your girlfriend, different things like that. And you know, my challenge to you would be, let's try to be devoted to God and the things of God more than we have. Well, we'll go back a month. So take what you did in the past month, things that you spent hours and hours on. Like I know for me, it'd be YouTube, things I watch on YouTube. You know, cutting back on my YouTube time, cutting back on working out, all that, and spending more time with God. So that is my challenge to you. If you like today's video, subscribe, hit the notifications thing. If you have friends, tell them about it. I'd like to get more people on this page. And again, thank you for watching.